For over 2 million years, the Ice Age belonged to animals built on a scale the modern world has never seen again. Giants that ruled entire continents, apex predators with no equal, creatures so massive that when their remains resurface today, people still mistake them for something alive. Today, 7 of them, the animals that ruled the Ice Age, and the footage and frozen remains that prove just how real they were. For more than 1 million years, a heavily armored giant dominated the frozen steppes of Europe and Asia. Weighing up to 3,500 pounds, the woolly rhinoceros was built like a prehistoric tank, wrapped in a thick, shaggy hide and armed with a flat, massive front horn used to sweep snow off frozen grasslands. This powerful herbivore claimed the cold plains as its own until its final disappearance roughly 10,000 years ago. In August 2020, along the banks of the Tirektiak River, the melting permafrost exposed a juvenile carcass frozen in time. Russian paleontologist Valery Plotnikov documented the find, which retained its skin, thick hazel-colored fur, and even its stomach contents completely intact. But it was the sheer freshness of the specimen that startled those who pulled it from the mud. The preservation was so flawless, the tissue so unblemished, that local discoverers initially believed they had stumbled upon an animal that had died only hours before. Far from the exposed riverbanks, another Ice Age giant claimed the dark, subterranean chambers of Europe. The cave bear was a massive beast, weighing over 1,000 pounds and dwarfing any modern brown bear. For thousands of years, these creatures dominated the continent's hidden cavern systems until their sudden disappearance 24,000 years ago likely outcompeted as early humans fought them for shelter. In 1975, explorers in the Apuseni Mountains of Romania breached a sealed chamber now known as Bear's Cave. Inside lay the remains of 140 bears. One complete skeleton remains embedded in the limestone of the Bones Hall, positioned so perfectly that early explorers mistook the ancient bones for a recent death. While this flawless preservation is simply a trick of the cave's stable environment, it keeps the giant feeling unnervingly close. In the surrounding Carpathian Mountains, tales of colossal, shadow-dwelling forest bears still linger, a soft echo of a time when humans shared the dark with monsters. Enormous herds of steppe bison once swept across the grasslands of Alaska, Siberia, and Europe, acting as the primary engine of the Pleistocene food web. In the summer of 1979, gold miners near Fairbanks, Alaska, uncovered a frozen, mummified bull preserved so perfectly by the permafrost that its skin shone with a strange, metallic blue sheen. Nicknamed Blue Babe, this 36,000-year-old specimen became a prehistoric time capsule for paleontologist Dale Guthrie. Guthrie's study of the carcass revealed deep claw marks and puncture wounds on the hide, the unmistakable signature of an American lion that had hunted the giant down. But the most bizarre detail of the discovery occurred during the preservation process. Guthrie and his team sliced off a small portion of the bison's neck muscle, cooked it in a stew, and ate it, describing the ancient meat as earthy, tough, and surprisingly edible. The giant ground sloth of the Ice Age Americas stood up to 12 feet tall on its hind legs, ranking among the largest land mammals to ever walk the earth. Armed with claws over a foot long, these 3-ton titans easily stripped entire trees of foliage. While mainland populations vanished roughly 10,000 years ago and isolated island refuges lasted slightly longer, some believe a remnant population never truly died. For decades, remote indigenous communities in the Amazon have reported encounters with the mapinguari, a terrifying, hairy beast of immense size and a foul, overpowering odor. In 1994, American biologist David Oren proposed a startling hypothesis. These legendary forest monsters might actually be surviving ground sloths hidden within unexplored rainforests. Oren collected hair samples and footprints in the Acre region, but no physical specimen has ever been recovered. Without skeletal remains or verifiable DNA, the mapinguari remains a captivating piece of folklore, a shadow of an ancient giant that science insists is gone. The ancient forests and plains of the Americas once belonged to a terrifying apex predator, the saber-toothed cat. Armed with blade-like canines stretching up to 7 inches long, This carnivore was built to grapple with the largest herbivores of the Ice Age, using its immensely powerful forelimbs to pin down struggling prey. The ultimate archive of their dominance lies in the asphalt seeps of the La Brea tar pits in Los Angeles, where scientists have recovered the fossilized remains of over 3,000 individual cats. Although the species vanished roughly 10,000 years ago, modern technology frequently sparks fears that they still roam the wilderness. A viral trail camera image captured in a Minnesota forest sent shockwaves online, depicting a muscular, amber-eyed cat with what appeared to be massive, protruding fangs. Wildlife biologists who examined the photo quickly resolved the mystery. The animal was a healthy cougar. A combination of low light exposure, motion blur, and a specific head angle had stretched the facial shadows, creating the fleeting, chilling illusion of prehistoric daggers. Beneath the waterlogged peat bogs of Ireland, a quiet specter began surfacing centuries ago. Laborers in the 17th and 18th centuries, pulling turf from the dark earth, would occasionally recoil in shock. They stumbled upon skeletal remains with fresh-looking tissue still clinging to the bone, so unblemished they believed they had uncovered a local deer that had died only hours before. In reality, these were the remains of the Irish elk, a titan that roamed Europe and Asia until roughly 7,700 years ago. Standing more than 7 feet tall at the shoulder, this was the largest deer to ever exist, crowned by an impossible canopy of bone, antlers spanning up to 12 feet across. Scientists still debate the evolutionary pressure of this headgear, questioning whether it grew solely as a display of sexual selection or if its immense size was strictly capped by the harsh nutrient limits of a freezing world. It remains a majestic, towering silhouette of the prehistoric past. The undisputed sovereign of the Ice Age steppe was an animal of mythic proportions. Standing up to 13 feet tall at the shoulder and weighing up to 8 tons, the woolly mammoth was built to conquer the polar freeze. A subcutaneous fat layer 4 inches thick insulated its body, while a coarse, shaggy double layer of fur shielded it from howling Arctic winds. These colossal herbivores dominated the northern hemisphere for hundreds of thousands of years, outlasted almost all their peers, and made a startlingly recent final stand. On Wrangel Island in the Arctic Ocean, an isolated population survived until just 4,000 years ago. When these last giants died out, the Great Pyramid of Giza had already stood for centuries. But in February 2012, the world wondered if the giant had truly vanished. A blurry video surfaced online showing a massive, hairy beast wading through a frozen Siberian river. The clip quickly gathered millions of views, reigniting the belief that a remnant population still roamed the wilderness. Investigators traced the background to 2011 footage shot by filmmaker Ludovic Pito during a solo mountain hike. Hollywood visual effects expert Derek Serra analyzed the viral clip, confirming that a CGI model had been deliberately added and masked with a heavy artificial blur to hide the digital edges. Yet even after the hoax was exposed, the footage remains an enduring modern legend, proving how desperately we want to believe that these lost rulers of Earth are still out there, waiting to be found. Which of these 7 prehistoric giants do you believe was the most dominant creature of the Ice Age?
Subscribe to the channel for more explorations into the ancient world.
As permafrost melts and the Earth yields its secrets, the boundary between history and myth continues to blur. These ancient rulers are never truly gone. They are merely waiting beneath the ice. Which of these 7 giants was the most dominant? Subscribe for more prehistoric mysteries.